Jungkook followed Van outside, only to see the heartbreaking sight of Taehyung kissing Van's forehead as she closes her eyes, tightly gripping on Taehyung's jacket, who was trying to wipe her tears. He takes few steps back, leaving the couple alone, knowing that Van's not his, belongs to someone else, someone who loves her so much, someone who looks so concerned for her, as Taehyung fastened her seatbelt, sitting on the other side, leaving the place. Jungkook stands in the middle of the road, seeing the car disappear as it took right turn, a heavy sigh left from his mouth, as he stay motionless, clenching his hand tightly. Can I stay here for the night? I got message from Sooyoung and she just needs the dorm for herself tonight. She replied timidly, clutching his jacket closely as Taehyung disappeared into the kitchen searching for something. Why not? That's your place too, Van. It's not like your first time coming here. And after marriage, we both going to move here anyways. He peeked from the wall smiling. Please make yourself comfortable. Thanks, she replied with a small smile as she unzipped his jacket, placing it on the table, and something fell on the floor. Her eyes widened, seeing a violet rectangle velvet box. Fingers tremble a bit as she opened the lid. Her lips fall apart. It's so beautiful. Taehyung wanted to celebrate the Valentine's Day with her, and he prepared the gift for her, but she ruined it all. Here's the hot choco for you. He stopped midway, looking surprised. You should have told me before, she says softly, creasing the necklace with her fingers as she looks up to him. Taehyung kept the tray at table as he touched her cheek, seeing the tears brimming in her eyes. I'm sorry, dear. Don't cry, Van. I hate seeing you cry like this, please, he says, wiping already spilled one. I hate to be the reason behind your tears. I'm sorry, I know it's bothering you too much. I thought I will deal with it own, but it just happened and I don't want to feel you burden. She was afraid of telling everything to Taehyung, not knowing how he'll react because she didn't tell him about Jungkook. He only knew that she used to like someone during high school and nothing else, so that's why she hesitated to say anything to him. Taehyung put a finger on her lips to stop her ramblings. You're not a burden to me, Van. Nothing is related to you is burden. So never think like that. Never say that again, okay? Her heart moves a bit on those words he said, as how sincere his love for her, and she grateful that she met him because after Jungkook had rejected her, she almost lost the hope feeling of love. Why do you love me so much? She had to ask this question because she herself can't understand as how much patience he has, because Taehyung was so persistent in the starting to date her when she wasn't even ready for it. She thought that she'll never be able to feel the love again, but here the stupid boy is ready to make her believe on the feeling again. She has tried so hard to build a wall between them, but she feels it's crumbling down slowly. He is making it more difficult for her, because she was herself so broken and not wanted any other person to enter her heart. But here Kim Taehyung is making things harder than it already is. How was she going to save herself to not fall for Taehyung? She didn't know she was just waiting for someone to put all the broken pieces together with care. Taehyung's love has a calming effect on her wounded heart, and it makes less painful when she is with him. That's why she forgets about Jungkook when Taehyung is with her. Why do I love you so much? He repeated a question, thinking. I don't know, he replied, shrugging it like it wasn't important at all. I didn't love you because I need any reason to love you. Once reason gone, love also. I love you because it's you. First time her heart skips a beat. He always make her feel so special and loved, but this one? Cheeks getting heated at his words as she gulped hard. Are you blushing? He asked amusingly. Oh my god, for real? Van slaps his shoulder, turning back, hiding her face with hands, feeling the heat radiating from her face. Stop teasing me, Bea, she shrieks when he messes too much. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, it's good to see you smiling now. She grabbed the violet box from table. Help me. Taehyung smiles as he helps her to wear the beautiful pendant he bought for her as a Valentine's Day gift. I didn't bought you anything, I'm sorry, she replied, feeling guilty. You are here and that's enough for me, my greatest gift. Oh, tonight I'm gonna die with so much sweetness. I won't let you die so easily. Stop now. Oh, wait, are you feeling something for me, Miss Kim Wine? When I flirt with you? He asked, leaning his face closer to her, and she turned it sideways. Thanks for the gift, happy Valentine's Day, and good night. Wine ran away to the guest room after giving him a kiss on his left cheek. Only if that girl knew what she did to his poor heart, because he is in mess now, ready to pass out. It's good step, right? Little by little. Taehyung knows everything about, but he chooses not to burden Wine. He knows that whenever she feels like to share it with him, she won't hide it. It's just a fear he has in his heart knowing she still loves Jungkook, and he clearly knows that he can't take that place of him in her heart, but he just wanted to make some space there. For a few days, Wine tried to avoid Jungkook. It was much harder than before after knowing he had same feelings for her, and he wasn't present in college too. At first, she was worried and wanted to know about his whereabouts, but again reminded herself that it's not her business anymore. The moment when Jungkook confesses to her keeps replaying in her mind again and again as she doubts his words. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. I didn't realize it. I was scared to admit myself. I really love you. What made him say those words, as she clearly remembered his words from earlier? We are just friends. Did you think there's something special going on between us? I didn't know being friendly to you give you the wrong idea. Now this time she is confused. If that was his words, then what happened in those 3 years? Did the distance make him realize he loved her? Ash, stop. She groaned and decided to cut her thoughts as she has a test coming and she didn't even practice for it yet. Enough of she let Jungkook occupied her mind. She need to focus on her studies to secure good marks or else Mr. An won't leave her. But one night she got several missed calls from Jungkook. Missed calls to be exact because her phone was on silent mode to not distract her between her studies. And now she saw all her notifications in morning. It was mentally draining and she doesn't know how to cooperate with it. But she chooses to ignore the calls as she spent whole night in revision and didn't get enough sleep. Later it was in class Jung told her about that. She heard someone talking Jungkook had taken leave for a week and will not appear for the test as his grandma expired last night. She kept typing and deleting her messages that she typed for Jungkook. She wanted to send an apology text and some condolence message, but she couldn't find the right word to express them. She really felt bad for not answering his calls last night. He must be very devastated after the news and wanted someone to be there for him as he cherished her the most, since Jungkook doesn't have anyone beside his grandmother in this world, except his cousin who lives in Japan. Now he is all alone and she doesn't even know if Jungkook is still in contact with his high school friends. She is getting worried for Jungkook no matter what personal problems they have with each other, but before then that they used to be good friends. She contemplating a lot whether she should go or not. Thank you for coming, Wine, and he glanced at right side. Taehyung, I guess. He was surprised to find you there, but hide it very well, especially when you brought Taehyung with yourself. It was an awkward moment to see him shaking hands with your fiancé, but for some reason you don't trust yourself to be alone with him. You were scared to see him vulnerable state all alone, cause you know you can't see him sad and you just come here as his friends and that's all. But it breaks your heart to see his soulless face and dark circle under his eyes, as if he is not sleeping properly. Just if that day you didn't cross your limits, that you might be still together, not as a lover but as friends. Might be you able to share his pain cause only you know how much Self-control takes you to stop yourself from hugging him and let all the tears out. But the mistake from the past. There's no if and buts now. It just happened because you were drunk and couldn't able to hold back to confess your feelings to him, which you were hiding for so long. And that night to be the moment. He did the same to you. But things are not that easy as it seems. That's one of the most painful memories of her life, and she wants that one to heal now. Oh, wine, right? She asked, looking at you, trying to recognize. After all, they only met once, and even she was drunk at that time. Nice to meet you, Crystal. So, you and Jungkook finally together, huh? What? No, wait. What are you saying, Crystal? Me and Jungkook are not together, and I'm going to marry soon. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood something. So the boy with you. She glanced at Taehyung, who was talking on someone with phone. Is he a fiancé? You nodded. Crystal has this crestfallen expression on his face, as if some tragedy happened. Was she hiding something? What happened, Crystal? You asked, feeling like she wanted to say more but hesitating. There should be no secrets, especially from Crystal, because she just can't keep one. Not to forget, she is the one who told the truth about Jungkook. How can I say this though? That day, I feel sorry for saying those words to you. It's getting more confusing. I mean, I thought you were his new play toy, but didn't know you were someone special to him. What's exactly you want to say? Can you please elaborate? You see, Jungkook, he is not like what he showed himself in front of everyone, like cool and flirty. And he is my best friend. That's why I know him better than anyone. So when he started talking about you, I thought it's again he is playing because he doesn't believe in relationships. And so she hesitated, saying further, you have a fear that it's something serious, something you don't know about him. But you might not aware about this, as he has a traumatic experience of seeing his parents' separation when his mother cheated on his father, and his father died not long when he was in high school, and I was with him that time. Only God knows how hard it was for him, because he had no one except his grandmother, and now she is also gone. She exhaled a painful sigh. You were stunned after listening everything. It's like your brain short circuit. It was true you were in good terms of friendship with Jungkook, but these things you also not aware about it. He never mentioned before. Now you doubt. Do you even know the real Jungkook? Few days later of his father's death, he changed himself completely. I was having a hard time dealing with his change of emotions and personality. Like he started going out a lot and doing party flirting with girls. Jungkook knows they only approach him because of his looks, so he just enjoy and not believe in relationships with them because he really despises it. Like he have a trauma of it. So whenever any girl tried to get serious with him, he actually dumped them in fear of being in relationship. Quite cruel, who don't know, but those who know, it's tragic. Wine was momentarily froze in the place. She feels like tons of cold water poured on her whole body as the realization hit her after she heard the truth from Crystal's mouth. That's the same thing he did with her when she confessed. Did she fail to notice something? I didn't know being friendly to you give you the wrong idea about us. I think it's all the same. You are the same, right? There was a strange quiver in his voice and an odd panic in his eyes that Wine couldn't decipher, but focus on her own heartbreak. She was too immersed in her heartbreak that she couldn't able to understand his shaky eyes and blurred words that day, and the way he panicked and left without saying anything further. It all makes sense now. As I said that, I didn't know you were something special to him and thought you were his new toy he wanted to pass his time with. But after that night, I saw the same Jungkook again. He came to my place crying. No, he was practically wailing. I asked him what happened, and he didn't reply but kept calling your name. It was surprising to see him saying this devastated for a girl. So I knew that you were not some other girl, but you are the girl. That able to make a space in his heart, but that stupid was too dense to realize it, not until we got to know that. He diagnosed with philophobia. Philophobia. Your voice cracked, feeling a lump forming inside your throat. It's the fear of falling in love, or you can say that fear of getting attached to someone. After having many sessions with his psychologist, we got to know that he is suffering from that illness, and it was very difficult at first for to recognize the issue, since he won't open up to anyone. But by the time it was confirmed that the past incident of his parents' separation had played a major role creating that mindset for him. Last time I met, he looks better and finally admitted that he was in love with you since forever, but just too coward to admit. And I said him to move on, even set up him with some blind dates, but he's just too stubborn until he called me a few days ago saying he found you. I was surprised. He said he wanted to confess his feeling to you, and I was happy for him. But after I didn't get any calls, just got the news about grandma passed away. It's just heartbreaking, isn't it? I didn't told you everything to run your current relationship fine. I just wanted you to know because I know Jungkook won't tell you anything. He rather choose to suffer all alone but won't talk about it. I think after knowing you already have someone else, he'll never tell you about it. But I don't want you to misunderstand him. He is not a bad person. Well, she never thought of him that way. And I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were already engaged. I saw you here and thought maybe finally he proposed to you and you accepted, but fate has different plans, I guess, huh? By the way, congratulations. And don't worry about Jungkook. I'm here for him. She no longer listening, lost in her own thoughts. Van shut her eyes tightly, remembering the moment Jungkook had confessed to her. Oh, how hard it was for him to gather his courage and finally say those words, and in return what he got. Her mind is a total mess right now, but she need to compose herself because Jungkook need her. Jungkook was sitting in front of her grandma's photo, staring at it with soulless face, like all the colors drained from his eyes, and there is no shine in them, just dead. After all, she was the only family he had close to him, and now she also left him. Why all the people he loved just left him? His mom didn't think about him before running away. His dad left him after a few days as he couldn't able to bear the betrayal. Vine already going to marry Taehyung. His grandma, who had taken care of him since childhood till now, also left him. Did God hate him that much? If he never wanted to see him happy, so why not call him instead? Why he has to suffer seeing all of them leaving him one by one? It's hard. It's so hard to bear all this pain, and he didn't even shed a tear because he thinks that's all dried up now. Everything he have got snatched away from him. What's there now? Isn't this good idea to call him too? He basically don't have anyone on this earth. He was drowning in his thoughts when he felt a hand softly placed on his shoulder, and he didn't even need to guess who it was because her lavender scent is enough to recognize her. Vine crossed down to the level of Jungkook, but he didn't shift his gaze, still staring at his grandmother's picture as she placed her trembling hand on his palm, interlacing their fingers together tightly, and that brought him out of his reverie as he looks at her with direction in confusion. Say something, Jungkook. Don't stay silent. He says softly, knowing there's a huge storm going inside his mind, but his way of dealing it isn't right, and he needed to cry, otherwise it will worsen his situation. Since she came here, she didn't saw a single tear drop from his eyes. and Crystal confirmed it because she had tried to talk with Jungkook, but he was there like a statue and replying to everything like it was normal and nothing like he lost his most precious person. This way of grief will only cause him more mental trouble, and Crystal knows that only wine can make him let out all the emotion Jungkook is hiding and trying to act normal, and nothing about this moment is normal. She carries back of his hand with her thumb, as he's still staring ahead with no emotions in his eyes. For God's sake, Jungkook, scream or cry, but don't stay silent. You just lost your grandmother, did you hear me? She exclaimed in frustration when he didn't react. We lost her. You lost her. And she cried, can't keep those tears on the brim and emotions holding them when she was with Crystal. And one tear drops, other join gradually. Sometimes it helps to show them the same emotion who is suffering from the problem Jungkook is facing, because in this mental problem, patient isolate himself so much, sometimes not aware about their surroundings, and in extreme cases, they slowly started to create their own grave. We lost her, Jungkook. Gwen saw the quiver in his eyes as she calls his name. This is first time after she acknowledged his presence, not with hatred, but with affections. And seeing the tears in her eyes, in the words she uttered, he finally made him realize that his grandmother is no more. No matter how much he tries, but can't find her anymore, anywhere, and the mere thought of it brought tears to his eyes. As he hugged Gwen, placing his head on her chest like a kid, and finally let those pent-up tears flow freely from his eyes, grieving for his late grandmother. He is not wailing, but it's his silent cry which breaks Gwen's heart more, as she saw him crumbling right in front of her eyes for the first time. After all, he is also a human and deserves to show his emotions. Taehyung was there seeing her girlfriend hugging other men, and now he realized what place Jungkook has in Ryan's heart. She never been this vulnerable with him, cause Taehyung had never showed this side. Even he still rather choose to suffer alone rather than talking with her about this matter. He is too scared to approach her, don't want to face what will happen to their relationship afterwards. He had listened all of Crystal and Ryan's conversation. It wasn't intentional. He just wanted to call Ryan to leave. But he heard about Ryan and had confessed to Jungkook he had rejected her, the reason and everything. He doesn't want to take Jungkook's place. He just wanted to create a small space in Ryan's heart. But after hearing the whole truth and seeing them crying together, he realized that Ryan and Jungkook connected to each other on a deeper level, where they both are each other's comfort zone and can easily bear all the emotions.
In this moment, I see